love to see the kids involved. It's incredible. We want to thank Priyanka from Krafty Hands so much for hosting us. It's such an asset to our community. We are incredibly grateful. And I just want to say, if you're not already involved with us, please look us up on Facebook. We're doing a lot coming up. We're doing postcards next week for a Suffolk County legislature candidate. We have a band book club. We're doing a drag bingo event. So lots of good stuff coming up. Find us. But tonight, I just want to make sure everyone hears from Beigel Schulman. She is a phenomenal gun violence specialist. She is the one that we are passing these incredible towels through to distribute directly to the children. And I just want to say quickly, Alyssa was here. This started with her daughter's mitzvah project. Last year we tie-dyed towels in their backyard and passed them along to Linda, and Linda gave them to the kids, and they were such a hit. The kids were like, whatever, and we were like, oh no, we have to make more this year. So thanks to all of you and the people who donated online. We had 50 towels tonight, which is incredible.
So thank you so much, and thank you to everybody who's here, and to Krafty Hands. I can't thank you enough. I have to tell you that, for those of you who don't know, the Beigel Memorial Fund was started 3 days after my son Scott was murdered at the Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, Florida. It's actually 5 years and 91 days ago, but who's counting, right? And we decided that we wanted to do something in his honor. And Scott went to camp for the very first time when he was 7. And he was the youngest camper. He never looked back. My dad said, don't take your deposit out of day camp, he'll never get on the bus. But he went into teaching so that he could go back to camp year after year. And he did go straight through for 28 years. He'd still be going if he could. But camp is so important, and it really, for those of you who've been and those of you who are going, it really lets children be children. It lets them have no cares, leave everything behind, and just have a wonderful time. And so we decided that we would try to pass that on to children who could not ever afford to do that. So we decided that we would send at-risk, underserved children touched by gun violence, and unfortunately today, who hasn't been touched by gun violence, I mean, lockdown drills, you name it, we fight for that as well. But we decided that we would do our best to send them to summer sleepaway camp. And because of people like you, I have to tell you, this is our 5th summer. The first summer we sent 54 children. We only had 3 camps. It's not a one-off. The second summer was the pandemic, so we gave a grant of $25,000 to one of our camps, and we did virtual camp for 400 campers. And not counting those, the third year we sent 165 campers, which was the same 54, give or take, added to that to come up with 165. Last year we sent 212 campers, added to the 165. And today I figured out that this year we're going to send 262 campers. We're getting $378,000. And I'm remembering Scott, which is June 13th, and you are all, just look online, you're all invited to come. It's a great fundraiser. I'll go into that in a minute. It's not a boring fundraiser where you sit and just listen to people talk. It's very interactive. But anyway, at this, remembering Scott, we will have reached, after 5 years, $1 million. Truth be told, we can't do it without you. That's really the truth. You don't have any idea of the impact of these towels when we go up to camp. Like Rachel said, last year, I'm not sure how many they made, but the towels, I don't know how many towels it was. Yeah. We brought the towels up to camp, and by the time I got to the waterfront, the boys had jumped all over us. The girls never even saw the towels. But let me tell you a little bit about these kids. I don't want to bore you, but seriously, these are kids that have never ever been in a lake, let alone swim, or now they're taking swim lessons, and now that we're going back to the 4th year, some of them will be able to be canoeing and water skiing. These are children who have learned to eat healthy now. They learn how to trust. They meet new people. They meet new friends. They learn how to trust. They make friends year after year. We go up there and it's, Miss Linda, are you going to send me back next year? We see them off on the bus, for the first year. As a matter of fact, we sent 60 children from Family Service League. We see them off on the bus on the LIE, I think it's exit 49. They're scared out of their minds, they get on the bus. Some of them have a little backpack, some have nothing. They get on that bus, they go up. We go up 3 or 4 days later, and they are just having the time of their life. We go up after, I think it's 12 days, because they're there for 2 weeks, and we see them all very down in the mouth and very upset, and we're asking them what's wrong. They don't want to go home. Okay? They don't want to go home. And you have to understand where they come from. They're not all lucky like us. They don't always go home to a mom or a mom and dad or a family member. Some of them go to, families to home. Some of them go to shelters. But what you do and how we support them and how we let them be children is really amazing. I can't thank you enough, and Rachel knows. I love you all for it, because we're going to keep going and we're going to be saving these kids, because we all know, to get to just a little bit of the other side, it all starts with our children. Look where we are today, and they all learn about gun safety. It's very important. We talk to them about, are there guns in the house? Are they stored safely? What do we know about them? We have to start young. And I know that every single child in this room knows all about it, knows the rights, knows the wrong, knows what to do, what not to do, and we need to spread that to everyone else. So thank you from the bottom of my heart, and I promise to send you video and photos of when these kids up at camp get the towels. They are going to be so excited. So thank you so much.
And I have wristbands for anybody who might want one. I have wristbands.
Tell us about the fundraiser.
Oh,
Yeah, the fundraiser is really, really happy.
I have them over there.
On June, look online, it's Beigel Memorial Fund.org or rememberingscott.org. Quick story. When Scott was 33 years old, I asked Scott, I believe life's in thirds, which is another story. But I asked Scott when he was 33, what were the 3 most favorite things in his life? He told me 2, and the third one was his bar mitzvah. I almost fell over that. I tortured him. You're going to Hebrew school, you're not going to do it, we're not getting a suitcase. I was bad. I tortured him. But it was one of his favorite things in his life at that time. And so last year, unfortunately, but fortunately, I'm invited to a lot of fundraisers, and usually I say, can I send a check? Do I really have to go? And Michael says yes. And so I can't be hypocritical, so I wanted to do a fundraiser which nobody would say that. So we took Scott's team from his bar mitzvah, which was Carnival Vegas, and we actually have Carnival. We have a virtual roller coaster. Anybody who's been there before, Rachel has been. We have carnival games. We have Las Vegas tables. We have crab tables. We have roulette tables. We have blackjack tables. It's all interactive. You're not sitting down. There's food galore, not just the hors d'oeuvres. There's real food all over for you to eat. More than you can imagine, better than a sit-down dinner. And the only time that we start at 6:30, and the only time that we stop all the games is probably about, I would say, 9:30-ish, 9:30. We go into a separate room. There are tables set up for wherever you want to sit, where we have dessert that's passed around, and we give out the grants. This year, Tish James is an honoree, the Attorney General, so is Robert Zimmerman, and so is Patrick Harrigan, who is the superintendent of Half Hollow Hills, where Scott went to school. It's just a fun-filled evening. You gamble with Beagle Box, there's raffles. I know as of right now, there's about 60 raffle baskets. There's a silent auction. I promise you the time of your life, because if it wasn't, then I'd be a hypocrite and it'd be a boring fundraiser. So anybody who wants to know anything, Rachel knows all about it. I have a couple of papers, but you're more than welcome to join us. It's a blast. We really have a lot of fun. And again, thank you.
Thank you.